Somebody just said, take a sip of water. Man, this internet is drag-assy. I need to put that up before I mess it something. Alright, let's throw it in here. I've lost all my money somewhere. I don't know where I lost it at. Maybe that day I got killed, I had a whole bunch of money in my pocket. I should have put up. I need I need to get in here and organize all this. See, I got that there. I got that one quest I need to do with that disruptor pistol. Mouse shot. Weapons of war. I think it was. Was this special fabrication? Research the artesian candle. Oh my god. What is that? Oh, that's that worm tooth. I've already made that before. There. Now. Oh my god. That wants me to fabricate a flavor steel stew. You seriously want me to make that? Could have swore I done that. I mean, did it because I came to this server? What the hell's going on with this? I could have swore I already made that shit. So what did I get if I... Man, so that was a waste of materials. Maybe I should have put it on the auction house. I want to rebuild this space and rearrange all this stuff. Because right now, it's just freaking scattered, you know. It's freaking scattered. I think I just seen a disruptor pistol that I didn't aim. Let's throw this. Okay, so that's done. The dirt. Oh! I didn't mean to hit that button. The bad thing is I'm mainly here for these. What else y'all got here around here? Oh shit. I even got the intel point on this little place. I mean, I've already got the intel point. I'm gonna drop this. Wait a minute, cancel.
They're here! Kill them all! Found them!
now that we got 16, 17 hours on the clock, I think we need to. Aircon. Let's see. Of course, an Air King. I went the wrong fucking. Also, more if there's any contracts letting in.
You've been to the workshop. Did our engineer leave anything behind besides regrets? Well, you're still alive, so I assume the greeting committee took it poorly. What did you find? Phaedra Vi. Now there's a name from the past. Didn't realize she was still drawing breath. Complicated. Phaedra Vi is a man-eater. She doesn't flirt, she hunts. And when she sets her sights, the ending is never in doubt. I knew men, smart ones who thought they were the exception, that they could handle her. They're not around to argue the point. What kind of annotations? Margin notes. Maybe a move, maybe a distraction. In Keops, not everything on the board is meant to be played. Of course she was. Phaedra always knew how to pull a thread until the whole man came undone. You want answers? Go see Phaedra Vi. You'll find her apartment in the Upper Central Plaza. Watch your step.
They think it's a tribute. A grand revival. I'm hosting it after all. Who better? The same fools who couldn't spell Januzzian if I bled it onto parchment. Dressing up the corpse of old Carthage in borrowed silks like that makes it breathe again. But that night, it wasn't a party. It was the last time the world bent around me. I needed it for a single night, and nothing that came after ever mattered. Now they wear the masks. They mouth the toasts. They pretend they remember. It's not nostalgia. It's taxidermy. Still, if the ghosts are coming, I'll be waiting at the door. They think it's a tribute. Grand revival. I'm hosting it after all. Who better? The same fools who couldn't spell Januzzian if I bled it onto parchment. Dressing up the corpse of old Carthage in borrowed silks like that makes it breathe again. But that night, it wasn't a party. It was the last time the world bent around me. I ruled it for a single night, and nothing that came after ever mattered. Now they wear the masks. They mouth the toasts. They pretend they remember. It's not nostalgia. It's taxidermy. Still, if the ghosts are coming, I'll be waiting at the door.
Damn.
Did you see Phaedra? I assume you found a trail to where she's hiding. Could be something. Could be nothing. It could be a waste of time. Yes, the missing piece of the puzzle. I'll be sure to include it in her obituary. Interesting. Then I hope your Thopter's gassed and waiting, because you're headed into the deep desert.
So B5 sector. All these damn wild goose chases. What's up? What's up?
Welcome back.
Okay, you know, we need to go deep desert. Like B5 should be somewhere right here. We're going into PvE. What the hell is that? Oh, somebody spent a lot of time on that. Sailor go? Look at, I can make some more of these.
Reveal yourself.
Fuck! I'm stuck. Fuck me. Fucking stuck in the damn wall. Fuck me. Oh my god. That motherfucking dude with the gun gotta go down quick. Well, lead them out here. Fucker's tough as fuck, man.
Poor Austin. He thought I wanted justice. He thought I cared. What I wanted was my grandmother's necklace. The Star of Wisova. 6 generations of Vise wore it. Smuggled from the Kaz in a corset lined with blood. Gone when Carthage went up in flame. Austin saw the tears. He thought they meant something, so he gave me his truth like it was a gift. I didn't betray him, not in the end. I kept his secret and lost the necklace anyway. Even if I held it again, it wouldn't bring back the ballroom, or the music, or the dancers. You can't ransom ghosts. And Gods be damned, the dead never write thank you notes. Wisova. 6 generations of Vise wore it, smuggled from the Kaz in a corset lined with blood. Gone when Carthage went up in flame. Austin saw the tears. He thought they meant something, so he gave me his truth like it was a gift. I didn't betray him, not in the end. I kept his secret and lost the necklace anyway. Even if I held it again, it wouldn't bring back the ballroom, or the music, or the dancers. You can't ransom ghosts. And gods be damned, the dead never write thank you notes.
my save beacon? I'm trying to get to that. Gotta go to the bathroom. Whew. Alright. Get the hell out of here. For sure. Taxi service. Oh, so they've added taxi services out here, huh? Oh, look at that. I'm gonna grab that for video. And look at all them batteries. One day I'm gonna take all that shit back to my base. Lady dude. What's up, motherfucker?
Hello again.
You buy water, yes?
Report on the deep desert. Murder's noise. Cargo is signal. What kind of high value? Let me see it. Huh. Yes, I recognize some of these names. Tell me what you see. Interesting. What makes you say that? I see. You met with her? Somehow I missed that in your cheerful updates. A necklace, of course. A sugar wire confession. Last refuge of the melodramatic. Easier to confess to a machine than face a reckoning, I suppose. Anything else? Possibly, but everyone's always angling for something. It doesn't mean it's worth chasing. Anything else? If it were obvious, you wouldn't be asking. The answer's buried, figuratively and literally. Coincidentally, I have a seat at a banquet with Phaedra Vine and several others listed on that manifest. I'll gather what I can there. You go back to Phaedra's apartment. That note might be our next key. Read it. What did it say? Ah, subtle as ever. She's leaving you a memory dressed as a riddle. What do you need help with? She's not subtle. Find the picture. She's telling you where the lock is, or the key. Congratulations. There aren't many once great cities around here, are there? I assume you can guess what city she's talking about. Indeed. Arakeen survived. The answer is Carthage. And I suspect our dead engineer, 10194, the year the old city died. I don't know exactly what she meant you to find.
Yeah, I think I got what I need. I got down. Yeah, that down's on the other side.
I've been trying to say this for weeks. Carthag, you want the truth? I was hired to fix a problem, quietly. A man, high voice, long shadow, wanted something buried. No noise, no survivors. I helped him, mapped fault lines, tuned resonance, knew exactly what would happen. They paid me, gave me a new collar, a title I never earned. Carthag fell. You've seen Ash. But I laid the tracks. When the train came, I looked away. The nightmares aren't fire or screams, they're silence. That moment before I could have said no. Now it's inside me. Blood. Drink, I work, I don't sleep. Take this, sell it, burn it. Just remember someone new, even if I don't tomorrow. The two men say first silence, then dust, then wings in the dark. I used to think it was poetry. Now, it feels like a countdown.
The Combined Haunted Community Theater presents an Arakin Playhouse production of 5 Days. The Combined Haunted Community Theater presents an Arakin Playhouse production of 5 Days at Carthage. Brought to you by the generous patronage of the Padishah Emperor and the tireless support of the Spice Miners Fellowship and the Leisure Committee. And now, it's time to dim the lights and return with us to those fateful days before catastrophe came calling. It's part 1 of 5 Days at Carthage. The Imperial Scenarist Guild has been provided unfettered access to the sealed records and testimonies of those who survived the Carthage incident. The following dramatization represents the official truth, as judged and signed by the Imperial Chamber Court and Audit Council. So let us journey then to the burning sands of Arrakis, a desert planet in a far-flung corner of the known universe. The year is 10-1-94, and the war of assassins between House Atreides and their ancient enemy House Harkonnen is well underway. Our tale unfolds in the teeming industrial spawn of Carthage, the seat of Harkonnen power on Arrakis. It's early morning in the Beyond Portal, as the workers ready themselves for a long day of toil in their Baron's name.
Come to tea, Devon. You'll be late again.
Only tea? Is there no more bread?
Oh, what bread remains I'm keeping for dinner? You've had your fill.
I told you before, Mara. I won't be home for dinner tonight, or anytime soon. We're on double shift until further notice. Oh, don't give me that look. You know I have no say in the matter. They are cracking down on anyone who gives even the slightest trouble. Wolfien's cousin disappeared. They say he was an agitator, but no one can say what he did.
Your father said this day would come. When peons would be no better than dogs.
That's crazy, Mara. We have the Peon's compact.
To hell with the compact. Do they expect you to work as a machine? Never resting.
Mother, watch what you say. You know they listen. Please. Let's just say the words and have our tea.
The words. Gut. Too angry.
But
No signs of resistance. She must have knew you're a killer.
Fine. We live by our Baron's leave. The roof above our heads belongs to him. Permits us to dwell in his domain, and in return, we pledge our eternal loyalty, obedience, and maximal effort, with an eye toward efficiency.
Long live.
I've been trying to say this for weeks. Carter, you want the truth? I was hired to fix a problem, quietly. A man, high voice, long shadow, wanted something buried. No noise, no survivors. I helped him, mapped fault lines, tuned resonance, knew exactly what would happen. They paid me, gave me a new collar, a title I never earned. Carthag fell. You've seen the ash. But I laid the tracks. When the train came, I looked away. The nightmares aren't fire or screams, they're silence. That moment before, I could have said no. Now it's inside me. The rot. I drink, I work, I don't sleep. Take this, sell it, burn it. Just remember, someone knew, even if I don't tomorrow. The Dune men say first silence, then dust, then wings in the dark. I used to think it was poetry. Now, it feels like a countdown.
Be careful, Dino. I feel something very bad is coming. The shadow is already...
Be right back. Gotta grab me something to drink. Okay, so we gotta go. Ass. Music. Go ask. What?
Salutations. What business do you have with House Motelli?
Oh, hey there, friend. That's not normally a good eye trade in. I'm more hands-on. And I've got lots of customers, each with their own sordid affairs. None of my business. That's unfortunate. I shouldn't say. It's not good business. It's not safe. No. I knew she was scheming up something to put together the scratch she'd need to get that necklace she obsessed over. All right, all right. The lady was obsessed with her ancestral jewels, which I gather she lost with old Carthag. She particularly yearned for a necklace, the Star of Wisova. Turns out an enterprising scavenger had it. So Phaedra hatched some kind of scheme to get up the money to reacquire the necklace. Damn, I've got an answer, but you aren't going to like it. Phaedra was part of a little cabal who collectively had a stash of treasure they took out of old Carthag before it blew. Last to live takes the pot. Phaedra was making desperate trades to get the funds to retrieve her ancestral necklace. Well, anything could happen in that nest of covetous snakes. As for that person listed on the manifest, the overseer, that is Sub-Prefect Tours. He's overseeing that group. Not the sort of thing you spill over afternoon tea, is it? I suppose you'll be catching up with him then and leaving in a hurry, huh? Oh, hey there, friend. Looking for anything special?
That's not your door to open, stranger. Push it, and you'll find I'm harder to move than most.
And by order of the Emperor, I'm telling you to slow your gallop. There's nothing for you inside. Who are you, stranger? By the order of the Emperor is usually enough to run most folks off. But look at you. You got the gait of someone walking on borrowed authority. Fast or slow, I don't think you're gonna get much chatter out of them inside. They're all dead. We've got one survivor, technically. Old bird's flapping her wings on the way down. But she'll land soon enough. Tours at a party. Well, there goes the mood. All right then, since you're so worked up over it, I could use help matching faces to masks and seats. And if you already know some of these silk-wrapped corpses, all the better. Good. That saves us a few hours of corpse roulette. A few of these poor fools I already recognize by build or reputation. The rest you and your list can help with. It's my job to know who's whispering in the shadows. This crew kept to themselves. Rich, quiet, and just strange enough to raise my interest. I've had files on half of them since they landed. They didn't emerge from the usual noble channels. No banquets, no procession. They landed like cargo off a discreet ledger. No registry, no flight logs I could get my hands on. And they kept to the shadows after. When nobles start behaving like spies, I start watching like one. These little gatherings weren't new. Masquerades are not. Same crowd, same vices. Wine, secrets, and shouting matches dressed up as witty banter. Masks just gave them an excuse to say the quiet parts out loud. They never shouted about spice or power. It was always the desert. Who knew what? Who had the map? Who owed something? Sounded more like a treasure hunt than a banquet. All I know is they were tight-lipped going out, and even tighter coming back. Anyhow, enough jawing. Let me get a look at that guest list. I'll match it with my data and cut through some guesswork. Appreciate it. Now I'll play scribe. You go play confessor. Call her countess if you like. I call her the last shriveled thorn on a dead branch. Sharp tongue, sharper memory. Don't be fooled by the frailty. She can still draw blood with a whisper. The butler saw things. Doesn't rattle easy. You do well to speak with him before the details slip through the cracks. See what the butler and the old hawk have to say. After that, come find me. I'll...
Was this the butler?
Let's have it.
Do forgive the mess. They died as they lived, loudly and with abysmal table manners. Butler to the late lordlings of this doomed affair. My talents include wine pairing, corpse counting, and feigning deference. It began as a toast, ended as a cautionary tale. You may pick whichever part offends you the least. It's simple. Wine was poured, conversation flowed. Then, so did the convulsions. You will forgive my impertinence for pointing out there is a noble here who still draws breath, and her breaths are more important than my breaths. It would behoove you to speak with her while you can. I shall remain here, utterly loyal and inconsequential.
Oh, splendid. An audience. I was beginning to worry I'd die without one. Countess? Did you just address me as Countess? Yes, well, to a dung beetle, every jewel is just another rock to roll in shit. I am a marchioness, you sand-scuffed mistake. Address me properly, or go grovel at the feet of some baroness who breeds pugs. Good. We may proceed with the fiction that you were raised by humans instead of livestock. I was Eulalia Hawthorne, marchioness, patroness, and now I'm just the ghost of better parties and worse decisions. Tours? No, thank the stars. Another bureaucrat sniffing around, precisely the kind of dull company I avoid. No, but whoever it was deserves a medal for culling the herd of those pretentious fools. No one worth the effort. Just a pack of maulers fighting over my ruin. They'll whisper sweet poison behind my back, like always. At least death saves me from their petty scheming. Hands off, you clod! You'll tear my face away. No, I'm still wearing it because it goes with my dress. Of course it's stuck. There are tiny barbed claws secreted within the mask. I saw Una Byrne try to remove it, and half her face came away before she fainted. Idiot. The wine merely opened the door, but it was the masks that let death inside. Poison in the wine, poison in the mask. One to loosen the soul, one to pierce it. A double dose for double crossers. Leave the mask alone. Because betrayal is their native tongue, dear. I watch them turn coats faster than courtiers shed morals. First for survival, then for sport. Let's just say, when money and memory are tied to the same grave, the living tend to grow fangs. By all means, prolong my suffering with your... What happened? Fashion suicide, mainly. Graf Vero died smiling, the fool. Spilled his wine and his wit in equal measure. I do admire a man who keeps his mask on while choking, with one of those ghastly little speeches nobles make when they think they're clever. Then came the toast. Then came the horror. I wasn't really listening. Phaedra has a habit of mistaking volume for substance. And I've spent decades letting that woman drone on about our dear hostess Phaedra. And I do mean dear, given what it cost her. Dead, did you say? But the Toastmaster strutted around with her voice and mask like she owned the place. Typical Phaedra. Can't even die without making herself the center of it. This I remember with perfect clarity. She said it with that awful snark of hers, like she's been waiting years to raise the glass. She said, "To ghosts and ash, to the flames we escaped when we should have burned. Every breath since has been stolen, and tonight the debt is due." Hard to forget a toast that theatrical, and not just because it was the last thing I ever drank. Graf Ansel Vero, a bloated tick in a borrowed title. He died as he lived, loud, ridiculous, and surrounded by people pretending to like him. Blue, a coward's color. Fitting, really. He always did flee when anything required a spine or pats. A thing? Darling, the Graf was barely a man, let alone a thing. He once tried to kiss my hand and missed. I took it as a sign. Turns out my precious toxin modulator works. Slows the venom, preserves the drama. I'll die last, bloated with envy and... Oh, do not ruin this for me. I want to die with some shred of mystery, not flanked by bumbling One last kindness, dear. My Mauler. Kill them all. They'll spend my death pawing through jewelry and gossiping in the kitchen if you don't. It's a tradition, you know. The servants die with the mistress. Mostly forgotten now. Like manners and decency. But I rather like it. Please, kill the little wretches. Choke the life out of them before they sell my underthings for drink. Swear to it. Empty promises suit you well, but I've heard them all before. I can tell you are lying to humor me, but don't think I won't be watching from beyond the veil. My third sister is Bene Gesserit. She will see to it. They are necromancers, you know.
Oh joy, you've returned. Ah, just when the silence was beginning to heal. If it reeks of desperation and mild opium, it likely belonged to the lady in the olive mask. She fancied herself mysterious. Mostly, she was just loud. She was mid-squabble with the one in red. Something about inheritance or infidelity or seating arrangements. Hard to tell with that set. She dropped it in the fray and made no effort to return it. Ah, just when the silence was beginning to heal. While I don't know the specific name attached to that handkerchief, I do recall there was more than one name fitting those initials on the guest list. In any case, someone waved the handkerchief in question dramatically about while arguing over whose knowledge of wine vintages was supreme. Nothing else comes to mind, save that the handkerchief in question carried a distinct perfume, sweet if cloying. Ah, just when the silence was beginning to heal. Where do they come from? Same place as the lies they're meant to hide. Born in the rotting vanity of those too cowardly to show their true selves. Masks are just another way to pretend nobility isn't a disease. No, I don't. Forgive me. My training prioritized service over trace. Nothing in this vast universe would please me more than to answer your questions. I'm afraid I do not know of whom you speak. I certainly was not instructed to care about whom that name belongs to. Nothing in this vast universe would please me more than to answer your questions. Pains me to point out the obvious to one of such cunning, but I was too busy performing my duties to note the ingress and egress of each guest. I was instructed to set the table and pour the wine for that amount of guests, and I did so. I did not, however, perform any sort of head count. Nothing in this vast universe would please me more than to answer your questions. While I was in the room diligently pouring wine just prior, I'm afraid I was away during the actual toast. I was checking on the status of the soon-to-be-served meal. You do understand my station, don't you? I was present for work, not leisure.
Oh. Okay. Apparently.
Let's have it. Spit it out. Know him? Sure. Drunk with a martyr complex. And a reading list that screams arrest me. He's mostly harmless. I dragged him out of gutters more times than I care to count, and left him there once or twice too. Spit it out. Only by reputation. Which is to say, scandal, disgrace, and the talent for ruining dinner parties from halfway across the galaxy. Heard she once tried to sue an entire planet for being vulgar. That about paints the picture. Spit it out. It's more his beef with me, or my kind more specifically. Tours his old blood. Thinks blue veins and powdered wigs entitle him to obedience. I'm town Fremen, born and scarred. He sees that as an affront, calls me that Fremen thug. I call him what he is, a dried-out bigot in brocade. Spit it out. I make it my business to know which flavor of aristocrat is stinking up my city. Most of them never set foot outside their compounds, but I keep a ledger. Names, habits, whispered threats. Helps to know who drinks what when they start dropping dead. No blood or teeth marks. Good. Consider yourself formally initiated into the losing end of noble etiquette. She talked to you, didn't she? That's more than most get. See, that's where you got it twisted. That woman's got venom for blood and a title where her heart should be. She talked because you annoyed her. Snapped her right out of that death spiral by reminding her just how much she hates lizard-browed provincials like us. Call it a success. You woke up the part of her brain still capable of sneering. The question is, did you learn anything? Well then, guess it was a party after all. Anything else? Well, that's a wrinkle. Did the old bird say what color mask he was wearing? Back where I'm from, yellow marks a coward. But nobility tends to mistake fear for wisdom and wear it like gold. So find the wine stain next to a blue mask and you found our graph. We can work backwards from there. Of course he did. Might want to run that scanner of yours. Find out where the wine hit the floor. Then we'll have our starting point. Bold choice bringing a discount snooper to a high-born massacre. Still, pointed at the mess. Might surprise us both. Sort out where the graph ended up. Then we'll talk.
Oh joy, you've returned. Nothing in this vast universe would please me more than to answer. While I was in the room, I was checking on the status of...
Let's have it. Let's hear it. First prize to the junior investigator. That fits the evidence. A can of pressed slig. It's good on toast. 5 cans of pressed slig. The man chose his agent well. Always does, though. Got an eye for talent, that one. Well, meanwhile, I came up with 2 names of my own. 8 masked assholes dead on the floor. Drank their guilt, now they'll sin no more. Haven't had the pleasure yet today. Speak to Theophilus about Agade Yamari. That's what the note says. I suggest you find out what our buttoned-up friend knows before our resident astronomia-trained butler, Theophilus. You know, I heard a funny story about that school. Makes the best of the best servants, they say. But I heard in their final year, the students are paired off in twos and taught to observe each other obsessively. One of them graduates, the other disappears. It's never explained which is which.
Oh joy, you've returned. She was prone to a serious allergic reaction to a species of plant in our flower arrangement. She wished to sit as far away from it as possible. A common reaction to that particular flower. The wealthy chose aesthetic over practicality or safety. It's a wonder we can keep any of them alive. Alas, nothing pains me more than being unable to do your job for you. But I do not recall. I merely changed her seating arrangement prior to the gathering. I regret to say that the seating arrangement was the casualty of a wine-spilling incident by someone already deep in their cups. Oh joy, you've returned.
Let's have it. Then let's have it. I'd say it's more of a Zaffrey violet, but that seems to align with my conclusions. Good work. I figured out one more. That snooper thing of yours chirped like it knows something? Well done, friend. While you were nosing around, I confirmed that the caskets themselves were not poisoned, meaning that's exactly correct. Someone doctored the vino after it was delivered. Always nice when the killers... Turns out the wine was arranged by a man named Ambrose Lucifera. Fancy name for a glorified errand boy. I had him dragged in. Now's the time to go poke holes in his story.
Please do me the courtesy of telling me why I am being detained. What's the charge? Supplying wine to a banquet? A decadent Arakeen banquet? Oh, balderdash, this is becoming intolerable. You've turned a juicy murder plot into something tedious. How could I possibly be involved with... Whom did you say was murdered? Well, now, see here. I merely arranged for the wine to be delivered. Everyone knows I have a knack for finding the best. These sealed bottles were poisoned. Oh, well, there you have it. I took no involvement in their glassware, merely in arranging for the reception of a very fine vintage. I trust this absolves me. A rare vintage from the planet of Grenbel, home of the exquisite Maros deer. A libation so fine, even the most domineering Chussock snob would weep. Why, yes, any of the staff of the Seleucid Bull, as well as a few of the regulars, can attest to my presence. My debauching is quite conspicuous. Oh, Goody, goody. With that unpleasantness out of the way, is there anything I can do to aid you in your remedial sleuthery?
I'm back, y'all. Let's see.
Well, I'm afraid I missed that slice of gossip, though it sounds delicious. Knowing nothing else, it leads me to one conclusion. If such a hoard exists, someone in old Carthag had prior warning to give them the time to gather such treasures and safely evacuate them. An intriguing notion. He's what some call a town fremen. Impeccable service, a full purple-gloved member of the Imperial Footmen's Guild. Still, he harbors a certain intensity behind his eyes when watching the nobles. Those of my status often ignore the help in their complexities. I do not make this mistake. And now we are back to a morbidly fun game. Proceed. At that banquet, afraid I don't know. It could be... No, he's convalescing from an undiscovered venereal disease on Chusuk. Real trailblazer, that one. Before you go, I did pass on a note to one of the guests. You'd have to ask Theopolis about the recipient. Roella Ramsby. She inquired about a particular vintage of wine, feigning expertise, but that woman wouldn't know Amontillado from sherry.
Oh joy, you've returned. That name does not mean anything to me, but I will endeavor to answer as best I can. On behalf of whom? Ah, yes, the drunken peacock. The man dresses like a walking dessert tray and talks like he's auditioning for a play no one asked for. What would you call him? Now that you mention it, I did. The recipient was a woman wearing a terracotta-colored mask. I serve drinks, not plot lines. I neither... Afraid so. Oh joy, you've returned. That name does not mean it. On behalf of who? Ah, yes. The man dresses like a walking dessert tray and talks like he's auditioning for a play. Now that you mention it, I did. The recipient was a woman wearing a terracotta-colored mask. Correct. Afraid so. Oh joy, you've returned. That name does not mean... On behalf of... Ah, yeah. The man dresses like a walking dessert tray and talks like he's auditioning for a play no one asked for. Now that you mention it, I did. Correct. Afraid so. Oh joy, you've returned. Congratulations. Forgive me, but I wasn't conducting a limb census between courses. She did linger rather tenderly on the frieze near the dining table. But then touching things that don't belong to them is a long-standing pastime of the wealthy. I can say that I did not much care for that behavior. I had polished that brass for hours. Now I shall have to spend hours more wiping away the fingerprints. After the cadavers are removed, of course. Oh joy, you've returned.
Let's have it. All right. Let's hear what you've turned up. Yes, that fits. Another off the list. Let's see here. If Ruella Ramsby was there, that means the other terracotta has to be... two masked assholes dead on the floor. Guess the toast hit harder than they bargained for. Calm yourself. We'll get there soon enough. Gotta build suspense. One of the remaining two guests is Lady Bianca Baghetti, a puffed-up hanger-on from a disgraced minor house. That means the last dead asshole is... Sub-Prefect Tors. No, I mean Tors is here. Good afternoon, Sub-Prefect.
There you are. Report. Don't look so slack-jawed. Who else were you? I was delayed. A pity. Perhaps I might have averted this unpleasantness. A grisly thought. One I've already entertained. They are no more my people than you are. I watch them. What manifest? Carthag. There it is. Motive. The killer is eliminating the survivors of old Carthag one by one. Revenge. Concealment. Or the quiet removal of a dangerous truth that could unpick alliances from here to Kaitane. Indeed, and if you've a name for the hand that signed that order, now would be the time to share it. There it is. Motive, opportunity, and means. Our assassin isn't merely killing, they're closing the... Yes. And how do you suggest I handle this? What have you learned of their methods? Then having failed here, where is our ghost's next haunt? Then I must go. To catch a killer. Don't be a fool. One sight of you and our ghost, as you call it, will vanish. Better you leave them to me. Yes, well, I never much cared for Cheops. There's nothing here. The killer saw us coming. Now the trail is cold, and we're going to have to report our failure to Count Fenring. You've been an adequate assistant. I'll put it all in my report. You can leave now and report back to whoever it is you report to. Stop! In spite of everything, the Master still wants you alive. To fulfill your mission, find the Fremen, wake the sleeper. I still recognize you. Even with this face, even with this flesh, you move like you always